Hello everybody, and welcome back to Insider's Guide. Today we're discussing one of the best small town ski areas anywhere, Red River. With a charming town and bigger mountain than you realize, Red River is not a ski area to be slept on. So with that, let's begin an Insider's Guide to Ski Resorts, Red River. Now, if you watch the Taos Insider's Guide, you'll know that I recommend for beginners to skip Taos entirely and head elsewhere. Red River is exactly where I'm talking about. Red River is unique in that a vast majority of its guests are beginners. I wouldn't exactly call Red River the world's easiest ski area, but it is a very good beginner mountain. However, with so many learners doing so much unpredictable stuff all over the mountain, I would recommend that advanced and expert skiers skip Red River. Taos, which we'll discuss in episode 19, would be a good option instead. If you do choose to go to Red River, ski with patience and awareness. Of course, beginners and intermediates will love Red River, so if you're part of that population, I would highly recommend checking it out. Before we begin, a word of advice for first-timers. You can skip to the time on screen to get straight to the run-by-run analysis. A lot of people ski Red River like they know everything. They don't. For an advanced skier like me, watching everybody else at Red River was quite comical as I sat there watching a lifty yell at someone to look over their inside shoulder, and the person completely ignored them and then got smacked by the center pole chair. So here's my advice if you're a beginner at Red River, and although it may sound harsh, know that I have only good intentions. Ski like you don't know anything, because to be quite frank, you don't. If someone tells you to move out of the middle of the run because you can't be seen from above, just move. If a lifty says to look the opposite way, just look the opposite way. If you ski like you're learning, because you are, you'll have an absolute blast. And don't get hurt feelings when somebody tells you something. Telling you to move is not a slight against you, your judgment, your intelligence, or your abilities. It's just helping you to not get hit and injured from someone plowing into you because they couldn't see you. It's always for you and is well intentioned. Please just keep that in mind. Red River is a completely empty mountain for a vast majority of the year. The mountain, despite its small stature, skis like a big mountain. For those empty times, it also maintains its small town feel. However, a large majority of the people who visit Red River are from Texas, as I suspect a majority of you watching this video are, and due to the length of travel to get from the major cities in Texas to Red River, most people only make the trip during the holiday season and for the January and February holiday weekends. Specifically, during the week between Christmas and the New Year, Red River can get extremely busy, at least for New Mexico standards, and during that time it loses just a little bit of its small town charm. It's still miles better than anything you can find in Colorado or Utah, however. During those off periods, there's never any crowds anywhere. However, for the couple of really busy days, the entire experience can be challenging. For one, there actually can be decent lift lines, but as is the Insider's Guide special, I'll tell you every method I know for avoiding the lines. For starters, you've got parking. Parking is over here at the main chalet, with some overflow a short walk away in this flyer house lot. However, on the busiest days, both lots can fill completely, in which case you may be stuck circling and waiting for someone to leave. Not a great way to start your ski day. As such, I would recommend getting to the resort by 9:30 at the latest during the busy season. Thankfully, all parking at Red River is completely free. If you get stuck parking at the back of Flyer House, it can be a decent walk up to the mountain, but they offer a free shuttle in the form of a tractor pulling a trailer with a bunch of hay bales to sit on. That's an experience you can't get at any other ski area, as far as I'm aware. Red River uses RFID technology for their lift passes, so you'll be charged $5 for them to print you a red card if it's your first time there. The other major challenge when the mountain is busy is lunch. The couple of restaurants at the mountain are all relatively small and get overwhelmed very quickly when the entire city of Dallas descends on the mountain in late December. It is hard to get food and takes quite a while, and finding a place to sit is nearly impossible and requires you to be incredibly lucky. You can go check out any of the mountain's 3 restaurants for yourself, or you can take my word for it and walk into town for lunch. My favorite place is called Shotgun Willie's. They do some really good burgers for a decent price, and just as quickly as you could get at peak efficiency at an on-mountain restaurant. Oh, and it's only a 2-minute walk straight down the road from the lift house base. Hitting Shotgun Willie's at about 12:30 and eating outside on sunny days is a staple of skiing Red River for me. Alright, so for talking about the mountain, we're going to discuss it as if it's the busiest day of the season. That way you're prepared for crowds even if you don't encounter them. Now, most people have to start their day at the main chalet because parking is there, or because they need to pick up a red card. However, if you can avoid the main chalet, I would highly recommend avoiding it. You can start at the base of Platinum or Copper, of which I recommend Copper more for reasons we'll discuss in just a bit. You can't get out of the main chalet area without either walking down the road or taking the gold chair up. Gold gets extremely long lines because of this, coupled with the fact that it doesn't run at peak efficiency, sending 1s, 2s, and empty chairs all the time, and stopping constantly due to being the beginner chair. To get to the main mountain, you ride Gold up and then ski down Platinum Way, which, like a vast majority of greens at Red River, is a narrow, icy, crowded road. Sometimes, when the lines are long at Gold, it's worth it to just avoid that area altogether and walk back down the road to Platinum. It's not an insane hike. This Gold Avenue runs from the Platinum runs back over to Gold, so it's a common end-of-day run. Platinum is the other lift at Red River that gets large lines. As a whole, this area around Platinum and Gold is just busy, congested, crowded, or whatever other word you would best describe it, and as such is not only annoying and slow, but also can be dangerous with the amount of people. I would recommend just avoiding this area in general. If you're a beginner skier, your best alternative is the Emerald chair, which we'll get to in a second. For higher level skiers, I would recommend using Copper as your alternative. Copper is a semi-hidden little double chair that comes from right between a pair of buildings in town. The great thing about it is that you can ski all of your favorite Platinum chair runs, but then cut across on these greens to get to Copper to avoid the congestion and lift line at Platinum. That is always how I ski the front side from opening until about 2 p.m. Now, I'm not sure why they're designated this way on the map, but these triangles denote mid-unloading stations on the Copper and Platinum chairs. I would highly recommend using them unless you're trying to go to Emerald or Silver. All of these upper runs flow into Lariat, meaning that this little stretch of Lariat is insanely busy and dangerous. That stretch can be avoided by originating your run from the mid stations. Additionally, since every chairlift at Red River is a slow fixed grip, you may be yearning to get off the lift and ski after having sat on it for 15 minutes and only being 2/3 of the way up. That's a slight exaggeration, but only slight. Lariat is, as designated by the dashed line, the easiest way down. It's much more wide open than the lower greens. If you're a green skier, I would highly recommend using Lariat. It's less busy, wider, and gentler than what you'll get down below. Many people go down Broadway, and I don't blame them because Broadway is a super wide, mild, sunny blue. The problem is that at the bottom of Broadway, it drops off onto this steep, icy black face that, while groomed, beginners have no business being anywhere near. To go around the face, you can go left to Gold Avenue and then return to Platinum on Platinum Way, or you can go around to the right on Prospector's Lane, which is my recommended route as the majority of people go down Gold Avenue. Outside of Broadway, the primary blue groomers on this lower front side are Boomtown to Sidewinder and Downtown. I really like Downtown as an alternative to Broadway as it is much less busy, but it is in the shade for a lot more of the day than Broadway and as such gets much more icy much more quickly. Downtown is also significantly steeper than Broadway in its final pitch. Boomtown is my favorite groomer because it feels hidden despite its prominence. Coming down Lariat from the upper mountain, there's a fence on your right. As soon as the fence ends, start looking to your right. You'll see the entrance to Boomtown from there. Boomtown and Broadway are both super scenic, offering great views down into the town throughout their lengths. As a whole, the blacks at Red River are mogul runs. Of these, generally the most challenging runs are these to the looker's right of Platinum as they are the steepest and also the longest, although they're not really all that long in the grand scheme of things. In my opinion, Red River does not have that many truly challenging runs for advanced skiers. Linton's Leap is my pick for advanced runs at Red River. Do beware that, despite how it looks on the trail map, it is very difficult to get to Platinum Way from Landing Strip, so you'll most likely have to wait for and take Gold to get back to Platinum. Red River doesn't have world-class terrain parks, but they're not skimping by any measure either. The biggest park is Hollywood, which can be accessed by the Platinum or Copper mid stations. To stick with the principle from earlier, I would lap it via Dewdrop Inn and the Copper mid. On the upper mountain, you have a couple of options that all flow into the aforementioned Lariat funnel. Generally, Main Street is groomed while the others all get rotating grooming. Main Street is so busy that it often develops moguls by mid-afternoon. Ricochet is a fun little road through the forest that has a couple of switchbacks. It's just overall a really playful run, and you can hop on or off at several different points where it crosses these blacks. Of all of the upper mountain blues, I like Linton's the most because it's generally the least busy. Now, for all of you beginner skiers, pay good attention here. When coming off of Platinum, you're going to want to ski straight ahead. If you're an intermediate skiers, the blues are to your left coming off the chairlift. When you go straight, you're going down Moonshadow, which takes you to the Emerald chair. From there, you can continue to the skier's left, down easiest way down, which will take you back to the busy front side. Or, you can take my recommendation, which is to ride the Emerald chair. Contrary to the long ride times of the lifts on the front side, Emerald is an extremely quick ride. From the top of Emerald, you can head down Rerun here, which gives access to these blues. Green Acres is one of the easiest blues in the resort. You can also take Jayhawk or Rerun to Perkapow's secret trail in order to access all of these greens over on the looker's left. All of these greens are super narrow cuts through the trees with minimal room for turning. In low snow conditions, such as December of 2023, I would highly recommend that only intermediates and above head over in that direction. Rerun between Silver and Emerald here is extremely flat. That means that you're going to be pushing pretty hard if you're coming off of Silver and trying to get to literally anything. However, the one caveat is that it's shallow enough that if you really want to, you can travel the wrong way to get up to Golden Treasure. Just be sure, if you do that, to stick to your left side of the trail so that you don't disrupt traffic. Within the Emerald Pod is also a bunch of good, easy tree skiing and these little kids features dispersed throughout. On the opposite side of the ridge, you've got Silver, which is home to a combination of trail varieties. It is equally as short as Emerald. Neither Silver nor Emerald gets too long of lines. Silver is my favorite place to truly avoid lines. The Silver Pod is generally pretty mild, but its two big features are easier mogul runs for learning and a little bit higher level of tree skiing. My favorite run in the Silver Pod is Wild Turkey, as it starts off real narrow and then widens up towards the bottom. Rainbow's End is also a really nice secluded mogul run that I enjoy. Now, one last reminder about the mountain in general in the afternoons. In the afternoons, the mountain falls into shadow, and by 3, it seems like the only place with any sun is Broadway. As such, all of the main runs get extremely icy late in the day. The biggest culprits are Main Street, Boomtown, and Downtown. Alright, well, that just about wraps it up for Red River. As I'm sure you've gathered, Red River offers a little something for everyone, but especially for those just learning to ski. As always, please leave any questions down below. Thank you all so much for watching. All my love, I'm out.